Hey everyone, hope you had fun last week. First week of Desktop Madness is in the books. Let's go over some of the standings now. Over in the Cyberdyne region, we had the number 1 seed, Bob Knapp, taking on Dan Burnett and Jason Bensfield. Bob Knapp advances with 59 points. In our other first round matchup, we had Ryan Fast taking on Dave Andrews, number 4 and 5 seed here. Dave Andrews pulls the upset at the number 5, 85 to 72. We've got Brent Chandler at the 3rd seed, taking on Manny Salazar, number 6. Brent Chandler takes it, 80 to 55. Our final matchup in the Cyberdyne region, we have Andre Hopkins versus Darren Campbell. Number 2 versus number 7. Very tough matchup here. Andre Hopkins, slight victory, 100 to 94. Over in the Computech region, we've got the number 1 seed, Jason Lewis, taking on Ron Reese. Jason Lewis advances, 66 to 39. In the big matchup of the tournament, number 4, Jeff Bennett, took on number 5, Doug Murderski. Final score, 193 to 157. Jeff Bennett takes it. Our 3 and 6 matchup saw Ryan Pellegrino and Charlie Chandler. Ryan narrowly gets the victory, 60 to 54. Our number 2 and number 7 guys go at it. Steve Najim, 81, over Andrew Rodimus, 39. We're going to take you over to Rubik's Cube now. Our number 1 seed, Kevin Bach, takes on Paul Barron and John Hutchins. Kevin Bach advances with 76 points. Our 4 and 5 seed matchup saw Mike Parent versus Eric Ferrari. Mike Parent takes it, 77-49. Our 3 and 6 saw a heavy matchup here. Steve Brooks, 107, Tom Barron pulling the upset with 113. Our number 2 and number 7 saw an exciting upset here as Brian Betke fell to Dave Hudson, 83 to 51. Over in the TKO region, we had the number 1 seed, Brent Davian, taking on Eric Coleman. Davian advances, 70 to 34. Our 4 and 5 matchup saw an upset here as Dan Kurtzel takes it, 68 to 54 over Andre Aguilar. Our number 3 and number 6 saw a slight upset here too. Keith Costin, 60. Dave Sayer, 62. Dave advances. In our final matchup, we have Sly versus Eric Slutz. Sly takes it, 91 to 55. Next week, or this week currently here, we're into our Sweet 16. Over in Cyberdyne, we got Bob Knapp taking on Dave Andrews. It's going to be a big battle there, 2 guys in the same building. We'll see what happens. Brent Chandler takes on Andre Hopkins in the other matchup over in the Cyberdyne region. For Computech, we got Jason Lewis taking on Jeff Bennett. We also have Ryan Pellegrino taking on Steve Najim. Over in the Rubik's Cube, we've got Kevin Bach taking on Mike Parent. We also have Tom Barron taking on Dave Hudson. Over in TKO, we'll have Brent Davian taking on Dan Kurtzel. And in our final matchup, we'll have Dave Sayer taking on Sly. Good luck everyone in the next round. Next up, we have a human interest story here. 2 guys that came from seemingly nothing to make it to the Sweet 16. Let's see where Bob and DA used to work and call home. As you can see, they came from the dungeon. Deep, dark, dust everywhere. These guys had it hard for the first couple months. They breathed in everything that was in here and came out champions. Let's go interview them. Brent, I want to talk to you about the Thunder in the dungeon.
Okay.
Who do you have winning this matchup? Bob or DA, and why?
Knapp.
Why?
He's the best out of the 2. Closes the
What's
most,
that?
takes after me.
Chris Wilder.
Do you fear Bob Knapp? You could potentially face him in the next round.
Never.
Why?
I'm always on top
Well,
of it.
he told me that.
Manny, you worked the dungeon with both DA and Bob Knapp. You've seen them, you've trained them. Who do you have in this battle and why?
Well, I gotta say, even though I trained both of them, DA more, I gotta say that DA probably has the upper hand in this one. The reason I say that is because he's kind of a hit with the ladies. So he'll get more raving fans. Bob, he has a lot more work to do, even though he's got 2 more weeks than DA. We'll see if Bob can perform the upset. Back to you, Mean Gene.
So his raving fans here, are you calling them into question? Are you saying DA's raving fans are not legit? Are we breaking the story right now?
DA's raving fans may be fake, but they still count.
Now you're new to the team. You've heard about the dungeon. You haven't got to witness it, but you've heard what these guys have gone through. Who do you have in this matchup? DA versus Bob Knapp. Thunder in the dungeon.
You know, brother? Who?
Bob, thank you for joining me today. You guys both trained here in the dungeon. What can you guys tell me about the dungeon? DA, let's start with you.
What's there to say about it? Grimy, dusty. That's how I was raised, in the dungeon.
Bob?
This ticket competition is going to be nothing. I came from this. What can I do?
What do you say when someone tells you you came from the dungeon, you can't make it? You couldn't make it to the Sweet 16.
Well, I proved them wrong, didn't I? Didn't I? Proved you wrong, sucker! What you think about that?
Bob?
This man's a fraud. I was in this dungeon longer than this guy was. Don't let him fool you that he came from the streets, had a hard upbringing. I was breathing this dust way more than DA had.
During those 2 weeks where DA wasn't here, where you started 2 weeks at this company before him.
The company was a lot quieter, a lot less talking going on around the office, a lot more work, a lot more hustle getting put in. This guy comes in, does what he wants, doesn't do the tickets. Oh, a drop off here and there? What's that?
DA, what did you do in the 2 weeks to prepare to come into the dungeon?
You see this body? This is what we do. Clean this dungeon. 5,000 PCs, build outs. What'd you do? You sat there, click, 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 click. No one ain't got time for that.
How do you guys quiet the critics when they say you can't get raving fans?
Who's there to quiet? I'm the #1 seed, baby. I'm #1. Who's this
How much
guy?
do you think you can score in the next?
I'm going triple digits.
Call for 100.
Calling for 100.
DA, can you back up 100?
Yeah. How many rating fans you gonna beg for, sucker? I mean, 2, 3. Do you want one from me to help you out?
Oh,
so you can beat me? I could do that for you.
It's not begging when you're doing your job.
Hey, this is my job. I made this. You see how empty it is? It's because of me, not because of you. I'm an intern. What's cappuccino? I'm in here drinking water and eating dust. What are you doing? Eating popcorn, drinking a slushy. No.
Bob, you did spend half your time as an intern going on little tours around the city. How has that prepared you for this?
I've seen the meanest parts of the city, the dirtiest, grimiest buildings, and nothing beats this room right here where I
What's
came
that?
from.
We got word that you didn't leave campus marshals.
Who's your source?
DG. So who do you think, both of you, who was the most influential here in the dungeon to get you where you were? Who helped you out the most? Who gave you that guiding light? Who trained you?
I'll tell you first. My man Manny. You know about him? No? Because you managed to work with Chuck. Where Chuck at now? Now you made it.
Is it true that Manny did not even make it out of the first round, though?
It's true, but Manny was hurt. You know, he can't get up and do drop-offs like, you know, my man Knapp over there. You know, he's got a blown hip, but I'm looking out for my man Manny.
Who helped you out? Who trained you?
As I said before, the late great Chuck Adiris, before the accident happened. I don't want to talk about it.
If you make it to the finals, who do you want to face?
Dan Kurtzel. Tickets, Dan!
DA asked you the same thing. Perfect scenario, you make it to the finals. Who do you want to face?
I mean, after I'm done wiping the floor with him, I want that Super Saiyan Bring it on, son.
Doesn't it frighten you just a little bit knowing that Dave Sayer advanced to the second round while working with the guy?
Oh, it's easy to take the guy tickets, ain't it? Oh, it's easy. Oh, it's easy. It's real easy.
You guys both coming from the Dusty Dungeon here? I'm going to give you guys some camera time, face to face. DA, I want you to tell Bob why you're going to take this. Bob, I want you to tell DA why you're going to take this. I'm out.
I'm taking this because I'm better. 'Cause this tournament was made for me. Number 1 seed, baby. Number 1 seed.
All I hear is wah, 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 wah. Sound like Charlie Brown, son. This tournament is for me. Ain't for scrubs, washed up basketball players like you. This is me. I am the Dungeon.
It's the final!